Hi, I'm Dr. Keith Johnson. There is a story about a businessman who was relatively successful. He did a lot of sales, and in doing a lot of sales, every now and then he lied a little bit about profits, lied a little bit about odds and ends, these things that weren't true or these things that would help make the sale, something of that nature. But they were just little lies, they weren't big lies, and they usually made him pretty successful. And then when work was over, or when he determined the work was over, he would usually head over to a little restaurant where some of his buddies were fellowshipping around and talking and drinking and having a little bit of a good time. And often it turned out that Dad came home late because he was so busy talking with his buddies. But one thing about Dad, he believed he loved his family, so he would get home at a certain time to make sure that he had still caught his young child before the child went to bed. And he would tell that little boy a story of some kind that he would find somewhere that he would carry with him so that he could sit down and have a little time with the boy before he fell asleep. And this particular night, same thing happened where he got home just in time to see the young boy as the young boy was putting himself, and Dad helped put him under the covers. And the little boy said, "Dad, tell me a story." So Dad went into a story about something he had seen on TV, and he was a good storyteller, talked for a long time, enjoyed playing out the figures with the kid, and the boy enjoyed watching Dad as Dad impersonated the cowboys that he was impersonating. And so it was towards the end of the evening that Dad figured he had told the story enough, brought it to an end, a conclusion, tucked the boy back in bed, and then got up to go relax for the evening. But as he was going to the door of the boy's room, the boy said, "Dad, would you tell me something?" And Dad said, "Sure, what is it?" "Would you tell me what God is like?" The man stood there for a minute at the door, and he pondered the question. What is God like? So he slowly went back to the boy's bed and sat down on it and said, "Well, son, I'm not sure I'm the best authority for this, but I think that God is kind, that He loves us, that He's anxious to help us, He forgives us when we do wrong, He makes sure that we're taken care of, He sees to it that we're supported properly, and then He shares a lot of love with us so that we can experience His love wherever we are." The little boy looked up at Dad's eyes and said, "Oh, well, that means, Dad, that God is just like you." Dad was quiet for a minute and then tucked his son in and said, "Yes, son, now you sleep well." And Dad got up and started walking to the door. But Dad had this gnawing feeling working on his heart that he couldn't get rid of. As he reached for the doorknob to close his son's bedroom door, he said to himself, "I guess it's true that God is like a heavenly Father." But then Dad had a second thought and said, "It's also true that I, a real father of my son, am so unlike God." And a tear came to Dad's eye.